Hi guys, James at RampantLionReviews again for you today with another beer review. For this one we are going to head up to Gothenburg, or Gothenburg as you would call it in English, and we're going to do my first ever beer review from Dugges Ale och Porterbryggeri, and this one is called Tropic Thunder, and it's actually a collaboration beer with Stillwater Artisinal, who are from Baltimore in Maryland in America. This one is a sour ale and it's got the addition of mango juice and passion fruit juice to the brew as well. And this is a thing with Stillwater Artisinal. They do like to add kind of random things to their brews. They did a collaboration beer with my local brewery back home, Williams Brothers, and it was called Stravagan, and it was really quite nice. They had bog myrtle and a whole host of other things in the beer, so that's the kind of trademark of Stillwater Artisinal. But very much looking forward to this review. I've not reviewed too many sour ales or wild beers, but it's a style that I've actually found myself getting more into recently as I've drank more of them, so really quite looking forward to this one. But anyway, as is usual with my beer reviews then, I'll tell you a little bit about the breweries here. If you want to get straight to the tasting, just fast forward a little bit. All the usual websites are in the video description for you below. The brewery websites, the links to my other reviews from Dugges and from Stillwater as well, and there's also the Facebook page, please like it, and also my Untappd profile for the channel too. And feel free to connect with me in whatever way you wish. Always interested to hear from you guys, and to my Swedish viewers, please let me know some other Swedish beers that you'd like me to review. I'll see if I can get them through Systembolaget. But anyway, to tell you first about Dugges Ale och Porterbryggeri. So Dugges Bryggeri are based in Landvetter in the outskirts of Göteborg, Gothenburg in Sweden. So the brewery was established in 2005 in Mölndal by Mikael Ekström Duke, and since 2010 really, they've focused solely on brewing top fermented beers, and due to the kind of craft beer renaissance that's gone on in Sweden recently, they actually very soon began to outgrow the original brewery, and so they moved to their current premises at Landvetter. But the older brewery had a capacity of 1,500 hectolitres per year, but now this new brewery has a capacity of 8,000 hectolitres per year, and Mikael actually hopes that over the next couple of years the brewery can expand between 5 and 10 times, and he says he would be happy with it at that particular size, because that would allow them to do a lot of exports and things. I've seen one of the Dugges beers in Scotland actually, but other than that I've never really come across this brewery before. I never bought the Dugges one when I was in Scotland because I knew I was moving to Sweden soon anyway. But just to list the other beers you can get from Dugges, in their main range there's about 11 of these. There's the Lager number 1, Post Lager, All the Way, Avenale, Family Matters, High Five, Idiot, which is meant to be a very nice imperial stout, Ethiopia Gideo, Organic Keller Beer, Organic Andrin, and also the Organic Lager as well. So that's your brief little bit about Dugges. So let's talk about Stillwater. Stillwater Artisanal is the venture of nomadic gypsy brewer Brian Stillwater Strumke, who is a native of Baltimore, Maryland, and he's actually a former world-renowned techno DJ and producer, and he quickly made himself well known in home brewing circles for his unusual brewing methods and the ingredients that he adds, such as wild herbs, spices, and other various yeasts and things like that. As I said, that's the kind of trademark of Stillwater Artisanal, but he's actually been rated as one of the best newcomer brewers by Rate Beer, and he's remained high up in the top 100 brewers in the world as well if you go and check out that website. Very interesting. It's always good for finding good beers as well, but now he travels the world and basically collaborates with various different brewers around the world. They don't have their own core range of beers as far as I know, but they like to do the collaboration beers all over the place. I think they've done things and a lot of things in America. You've obviously got this one with Dugges in Sweden. I know they've worked with Williams Brothers in Scotland, and they've done a whole host of things. So really go and check out the Stillwater Artisanal website, and keep an eye on them on Facebook, and you will get an idea of all of the kind of random things that brewery are doing. Really quite interesting actually, and I have to admit I always enjoy trying their beers, and these ones where they've got different ingredients added to the brew as well. So let's get stuck into this guy then. So this one comes in at 4.5%. As I said, it's a wild ale sour beer, and it says on the side it comes in at 4.5% like I said, but it's got wheat malt in it, white malt I think as well, mango juice, passion fruit juice, lactobacteria, and aroma extract from something. I'm not quite sure what that is in Swedish, but there's barley malt, wheat malt, mango juice, and passion fruit juice in this one. There's also lactobacteria in there as well, and as you can see, it does have quite a nice label to it, this one. I actually quite like that. I always steam the labels off my beers and keep them in a collection. But it says here, collaboration brew, Tropic Thunder is a joint effort with nomadic brewer Brian Strumke of Stillwater Artisinal. We brewed this sour ale with lactobacillus and let it ferment with plentiful mango, passion fruit and peaches as well. So yeah, it sounds a really nice one. It says 178 on the side. I'm not sure if that won't be the IBUs, I don't think, but yeah, best before on the cap there it says the 14th of August 2017, plain bottle cap on the beers as it always is with Dugas, but you can see this is the typical style of the Dugas bottle, and you can just see there, this is the Stillwater Artisanal crest as well. So let's get this guy out and get on with the tasting. 4.5% sour ale, wild ale, brewed in Gothenburg in Sweden. As you can see, nice kind of smoky opening with this one. But as I said, oh geez, you can really smell the kind of juicy fruit characters off this beer. I'll just sugar it up, see if I can get a bit more of a head on this one. Yeah, nice kind of thin head there. That's going to fade away very quickly though. It's quite a kind of bubbly head, you can see it, but you can really smell the fruit juices coming off this one. But as you could see, there was about a half finger of a frothy kind of white head, and it's faded very, very quickly actually. But it's a nice kind of, probably a straw goldeny colour is a good way to describe that. It's almost the same colour as a Belgian wit beer, but it looks really nice. If I put my fingers behind it, you can see it does have a level of transparency, but it is quite an opaque beer, but looks really nice. One or two big bubbles at the bottom of the glass there, but just a few little ones coming up towards the surface, but very little in the way of visible carbonation on this one. But this beer, it smells really nice. It actually just smells like fruit juice, if I'm honest with you. That's the main thing out. So let's look at that a bit closer. Yeah, definite. You can really pick out the different fruits in this one. I trained my nose a little bit and also my palate with fruit juices. I just made them in the juicer, and it's a good way to actually tune your palate and tune your nose to these different fruits. So you're out of this one, you can get, yeah, there's a lot of peach coming out of this one, as you would expect. The passion fruit's there, but I can really get that mango, the smooth mango fruits underneath that. The mangoes are the ones that are really jumping out at me though, if I'm honest. The nice mango juice that's in there, you can really, that's the thing that's jumping out at me. Passion fruit as well. You can smell all three of them quite distinctly if you know what you're looking for. But underneath that, you can pick up a little bit of a kind of orangey or tangerine note as well. And you can smell just a little bit, it's very weak, but you can smell a little bit of a bready or doughy note, and maybe even just a little bit of a kind of biscuity or wheaty note in there as well. But overall, the main aroma from this beer is the fruit juices, like I'm saying. Nice mangoes, the juicy smooth mango fruit in there, a good bit of passion fruit, and the peaches are really coming out of this too. 3 big fruity notes out of this one. And there is I think there's an orangey or tangerine note in there as well. But it smells really nice. This beer, you could have a look at this and just have it sitting in a glass and you wouldn't think it was beer. No head on it at all, and it smells like fruit juice. You really could mistake this beer quite easily for that. But without further ado, let's get stuck into this guy. So this is the Tropic Thunder, a 4.5% wild ale or sour beer, however you want to describe it, from Dugas in Gothenburg, and it's a collaboration with Stillwater Artisinal from Baltimore in Maryland. Skål! Yeah, in terms of sour beers, not the most sour I've come across, but it's really nice. But you can really get that bacteria, really kind of hits you a little bit later on. Actually, I'm saying it's not very sour, but it does, after taking the first sip, I shouldn't have said that, it kind of grows on you quite a little bit, the sourness in it, particularly into the aftertaste. You can feel that bacteria coming out of this beer. As I always say, sugar the beer around your mouth a little bit and just let your whole palate adjust before you think too much about the flavour. But as expected, you've got a huge sour and fruity character to this one. The peaches in there, all the fruits are coming out around the edge of the tongue. So you've got a nice juicy peachy flavour in there. The passion fruit is mixing in quite well with that. And I want to say it's even a bit more complex than that. They're saying they've added mango juice, passion fruit juice, and what was the other one? It was also, yeah, it was also mango, yeah, mango juice, passion fruit juice, and yeah, a couple of other things as well. But it's, you know, there's a load of different fruits in this beer. It's really, yeah, it's peaches as well. As I'm saying, you can pick out the mangoes, the peaches, and the passion fruit in this one, all around the edge of the palate there. It is really nice. The sour character comes in at you quite fast at the start, and then it just fades away a little bit, and it comes back in the aftertaste. So it's really quite well done, this, actually. But the fruity flavours are definitely a bit more complex than simply like peaches, passion fruit, and I'm forgetting the fruits, the peaches, passion fruit and mango in this one, but they're definitely a bit more complex than that. There's papaya flavours in there as well, and there is, I think there's probably a little bit of pineapple coming out of that too, just a little bit, but the peaches, mangoes and passion fruit, I remembered at this time, peaches, passion fruit and mango are definitely the most prominent ones, but there are a little bit more, a few more fruits coming out of this beer. Definitely a little bit of a kind of slightly orangey or lemony citrus tart coming out of this beer. But yeah, all of these fruit characters coming out around the edge of the tongue. The edge of your tongue in this beer is really wet and really quite juicy, so just pay attention to that and you'll get all of these fruit characters in. And what's interesting about this is that most of the fruity characters in the beer stick towards the front of the tongue, but this one, they go all the way around the edge of your tongue and just push their way into the middle, and that's a very unusual mouthfeel in beers that I've come across, at least. But yeah, probably, I think most definitely the best sour ale I've tried yet, actually, so I'll probably need to review a few more and see if I can find one that tops this, but I wouldn't be surprised if I didn't. This is really nice, and it had a really high rating on Rate Beer as well. It was rated about 95, so I think it's a pretty hard one to beat, actually. But yeah, in the middle of the palate, you get just a little bit. It comes out after the fruitiness dissipates a little bit. In the aftertaste, there's a little bit of a white bready or doughy character coming out of this one. As you move into the aftertaste too, I can pick up just a little bit of a kind of grassy hop character as well. There's maybe even a bit of a kind of wheaty flavour to this one as well, and some cereal or biscuit right in the middle of the palate. You get a very light, almost pale malt, just a pale malt, pale white bready malt, just blankets the middle of the tongue there. The wheat comes out. It did say it had a bit of wheat malt in it and a little bit of barley malt, so you're getting these light wheaty and light cereally characters right in the middle of the tongue, but it's really quite a nice beer, this one. If you like sour ales and you like fruit flavoured beers, then this is, you can't ask for better than this, really. But yeah, that's your flavours wrapped up. A hell of a lot of peach, hell of a lot of passion fruit, good bit of mango in there as well. The mango, I think, comes out a bit towards the back of the palate, whereas the peaches and the passion fruit come out a bit closer to the front. Mango, to me, always came across as a bit more of a smooth and slightly juicier fruit, but the peaches and the passion fruit were always that bit sharper, and the sharper flavours are definitely at the front, and the nice smooth mango flavours are at the back of the beer. But really quite a nice one, this. If you, as I say, if you enjoy the sour beers and wild ales, then this is definitely one to go for. Other breweries like this, of course, include like Lover Beer. If you like the Lover beers, this is a good bit different from that, but if you like that style of beer, then check out this one. But yeah, really nice, and I can see why these Stillwater Artisinal beers are so popular. When you add random things like that to a beer, you wouldn't think it would work, but it really does. So sour ales, not going to get much better than this, I don't think. But in terms of the mouthfeel of this one, I would say really quite light bodied. There's almost no carbonation in this beer, actually, but it's a huge juicy fruity character. There's a good bit of tartness and a good bit of sour character, and there's just a little bit of an orangey, tangerine, or maybe even lemony tart flavour to this one, but it's got a little bit of sweetness from the malt as well. The malt flavours come out in the aftertaste a bit more, and there is just a tiny little bit of sweetness there, but overall the malt base is very smooth. So the centre of your palate is very, very smooth. The edge of the tongue is really quite juicy, and there is a bit of tart sharpness in there. But interestingly, because the beer is more juicy, it doesn't have much in the way of a dry character to it. Usually you get the dry hoppiness around the edge of the palate, but I'm finding this beer to be a very wet and kind of really juicy mouthfeel. So yeah, overall this is a really, really nice sour beer and wild ale. However you want to describe it, the main thing, you can always argue about styles, whether it's a wild ale or a sour ale or whatever you want to call it, but the main point for me is that it's a beautiful beer, and I think this is probably the best sour ale I've ever reviewed for you on the channel. I've not done too many, but definitely the best, and I think it's going to be very, very hard to actually top this one. So if you do come across it, I think it's a limited edition, so if you find it, buy it and try it, because it really is wonderful. And you know, if you like fruit juices but you're not too keen on the sour ale beers, this might be a very good bridge for you to actually get into the style. So I would highly recommend this beer. I'm very much looking forward to trying some more Dugas beers as well. I've heard really good things about them, and my 2 experiences of Stillwater Artisinal so far have both been excellent. So check out both the breweries, guys. Really quite an interesting beer, this one. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this beer review. This is overall it's a really awesome sour ale, very highly rated on Rate Beer. So as I say, if you like the style, check out this one. If you're not too sure about the style but would like to try it, again, this is a really good beer for you. If you like fruit juices, this is a good beer for you as well. If you don't like beer, I can even see this being a bridge to actually getting you to like beer. So really, this is a beer that I think you really have to check out if you see it. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this beer review. Please let me know your own thoughts on it in the description below. Always interesting to hear from you guys, the viewers. I really get some quite interesting comments from you guys, but do let me know your own thoughts on this beer. Swedish viewers, please let me know some other beers from Sweden you'd like me to try. Always interesting to hear those as well. But I thank you again for watching my beer reviews. There will be more Swedish reviews for you to come. Definitely more from Dugas, and hopefully more from Stillwater Artisanal as well. But until then, please like, subscribe, share, all the usual YouTube stuff. Like the Facebook page, add me as a friend on Untappd. But until the next beer review, it's Slangy for now, and I hope you've enjoyed this one. Skål!